heavens, that's a long break. I think during that last break, NBC ran in with a late news special that Lindbergh made it. Vincent Price is here tonight. He's a good friend of ours, a fine actor, and he has a new album out of Edgar Allan Poe called The Imp of the Perverse. He's also the author, as you know, of an excellent cookbook called The Treasury of Great Recipes. Would you welcome Mr. Vincent Price? Hello, Vincent.
Hello, Johnny.
Good to see you.
I was just walking by Edie's dressing room, and I found this on the ground. It's rude.
Oh, that's a lucky turkey sherb.
That's right. I sniffed a little. Feeling great, too.
That's parsley, isn't
It's
it now?
parsley.
That's parsley.
Yeah, well, I thought I might fool you.
You know, parsley's very good for you.
Huh? What do you think I brought it for? Yeah.
Now, you are a gourmet. Is parsley good for you?
Yes.
Really? What?
Really, it is. In the first place, it's a diuretic. Takes the water out of your system.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it is also an aphrodisiac.
And it also gets stuck in your teeth.
I always thought I didn't think there were any.
Chlorophyll. You remember when you used to drink when you were a kid, and then you'd go and have parsley so that your mother couldn't smell it on your breath?
Yes.
The drink, I mean.
Sensen was
yes,
what?
Sensen.
Sensen.
Yeah.
Which was awful.
Awful. Worse than the drink.
I didn't think there were any such foods. I thought that was all old wives' tale about certain foods being aphrodisiacs. Is there a certain amount of truth in there?
Yes, there are supposed to be. I think it just makes you healthy, you know, and that makes you aphrodisiac, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think if you're healthier, you probably have more of a proclivity to... Anyway, you've been out on the lecture tour with colleges, mainly?
Yes, I love it. It's great fun. I've done it for years and years.
I know you have.
I lecture on art and villainy. Villainy is very close to my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the main question you get? What do the kids want to know?
Well, at the end of it, you know, I give a very brilliant art lecture, I must say. I've done a lot of research on it, and usually to ladies' clubs, and they all hate modern art. And at the end of one of my more brilliant lectures, one time I asked the ladies, I said, now, if you have any questions, please just ask. And one little old lady held up her hand. I said, yes, ma'am, what is it? And she said, what is Johnny Carson really like?
Oh.
Now, if that isn't the biggest letdown you
After
ever
your
had.
brilliant lecture, you're waiting for this?
Yes, and I can't tell her.
When you go around in your travels, you keep a lookout for young artists and
Yes.
new talent?
Oh, yes, I find them all over. America's just loaded with talent.
Yeah.
You know, it's extraordinary that school that really became the most American school, called the New York School.
Right.
Most of those people were from either California or Kansas or Omaha, Nebraska, and it's really what is going on in America today is the most exciting thing in the world.
Why is it, do you feel, that people don't understand abstract art? Now, I've been to a lot of the museums, and I see the Jackson Pollock thing hanging in the Metropolitan Museum in New York, and it baffles me somewhat. I know he was a trendsetter, and it was new, but I sit there and I look at it, and I'm trying to get some kind of reaction or feeling. Is it all complete? See, if I look at a picture and there's a boy on a pony, that I can understand.
Yeah. What is it?
I know that, but I don't understand. I know it's form and substance and feeling and depth, and you're supposed to receive some kind of an emotional response, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, we call the most precious nouns in our language, beauty and truth and honor,
Right.
These are called abstract nouns because each person has his own definition
Right.
for them. There is no definition. And abstract art is something that you yourself must define. You can also define it by saying, I hate it.
Right.
But it is very exciting. It really is.
I want to ask you a question. We were talking with some people the other day from a fellow by the name of Peter McCoy from Southby Park Burnett Galleries. And there was a few years ago, I think you remember. First of all, there was a painter who did painting some years ago in the style of Vermeer.
Yeah.
He was a Dutchman, I believe.
Van Meeringen, I think.
Yes, and he did not do Vermeer's paintings. He did in the style of Vermeer. In other words, he just didn't copy a Vermeer picture. And they were authenticated by the London British Museum and by all the art experts in the world. And they found out later they were not, in fact, Vermeer's, but this...
He was a fake,
He was a fake.
Yeah.
Now, the question became, was this gentleman who faked Vermeer a great artist?
Yeah.
And it's a very hairy line, isn't it? Because he didn't copy, like somebody copying Rembrandt's self-portrait or something.
No, he painted in the style. With the same techniques.
Pigments and the canvas and everything, and it fooled them. Now, the question is, was he as good an artist as Vermeer?
No, because he should have done it in his own style. You
In other
know,
words-
that's the trouble. I mean, he's using a style that is past him. I mean, it is of another time. The thing I thought that was marvelous is that he sold them all to Goebbels and Himmler and...
Right.
You know, it was marvelous. He really conned those Germans into buying all that junk. I loved it.
And then I guess
thought
it
he
was
should have been a
you-
national hero.
I guess it was years later, was it not, before they
Yes.
found out? I don't know exactly
and they
how it
tried
came
him.
out.
I never could understand why they tried him, you know, and they really
Because it wouldn't be
persecuted
called
him.
forgery.
No.
I guess it would be what? False.
Well,
Because he
yeah,
signed
really
Vermeer's
sort of-
name, I guess,
yes,
or something like
he
that.
really finally did sort of convince himself that he was as good as Vermeer and thought it was kind of marvelous that they were taken as such. Because Vermeer is one of the rarest artists in the world.
What do you think of these ads you see in the magazines? And I won't mention where they come from. It says, "Draw the little deer. Take this art aptitude thing," and then they have a little line drawing
Yeah.
that a 5-year-old child could probably draw, and send it in, and we will
I
give
know.
you a.
A bill for $300.
Yeah, but is that is there?
Oh, no, it's terrible. You know, it really doesn't work at all. You can't take art by mail. You can't take dancing by mail. You can't take anything by mail, really.
Right.
You must sort of participate in it, be a part of it. And there's so much talent and so many good teachers around that it really isn't just filling in lines.
No. How about cooking? Do you do a lot of your cooking at home?
Yes, I do almost all the cooking at home. My wife is a marvelous cook, but she doesn't enjoy it as much as I do. I really love it.
Why is it all the great chefs so, in the world seem to be men? Where that
They
seems.
don't have to clean up after themselves.
Nobody explained it to me like that. But it
right.
is true, isn't
It's
it?
absolutely true, except that I like to clean up.
But generally speaking, it would be true.
What?
The great chefs have all these people cleaning up for them. They never have to wash their
But
own
great
pots
women
and
chefs
pans.
could have that too.
Well,
It
certainly
intrigues
they
me
could,
that there are
sure.
not what you'd call.
What?
Well, look at all the women. Don't your kids clean up after you? I bet they do. I bet they're chained to the sink.
My kids?
Yeah.
My
Your
kids?
kids.
Never.
Huh?
My kids,
Well, they wash the ashtrays
feel
anyway,
sometimes.
don't they?
no.
That,
But my kids
you're
are two little
belligerent.
boys who happen to
Also
be very
true
good
very
cooks.
often.
Both of my
Musicians, a lot
kids,
of
as a matter of
musicians are
fact.
women.
What's he talking about?
Who he's talking to? Both of my
It's always
kids.
intrigued me that.
What have you done to your hair?
Also, but that is true.
Yes.
But it would be considered a woman's domain, the kitchen. But
Yeah.
you don't know any great women chefs, do you?
Yeah,
Outside
it's
of Julia
absolutely true.
Childs.
You never heard of Maud of the Waldorf.
Or Shirley of the Shelburne or something like that. They're just not around.
Never.
Do you go in for what they call gourmet or simple? They're going back. I see even the French now.
Yeah, simple.
What's the famous French name? Boucou?
Boucou, yeah.
Boucou is trying to now get back to
Simple
simplified things rather
I
than
agree
the
with that.
garnishes and all of the sauces. And
Yeah, I agree with that. I really enjoy that. I love cooking with herbs and very simple things that are healthy things. And
Have you ever cooked with roux?
roux,
It's a Turkish herb.
Madeline roux and I cooked up a
Yes, sir.
What do you do? Roux is a narcotic, isn't it?
All I know, when you put it on a turkey, the turkey says, "Baste me, baste me." All I can say. That's all I know. Anyway,
An aphrodisiac.
every time you've been on the show, you have given us a small demonstration, most of which I am a miserable failure at.
Yes, you are a failure.
I just don't seem to be handy, and you have another interesting
I
demo
think
tonight.
finally I have found something that even you can do.
Now we're getting...
And you don't have to wash up afterwards. And it's terribly easy to do. And I'd really like to explain it to you. May
All
I?
right, we're going to take a commercial, then we'll
you.
come back and go at it. Stay right where you are. We'll be right back. We're now back to basic cooking. We haven't planned anything. I haven't the slightest idea. Now, am I going to assist you in this?
Yes, you're going to assist me and you're going to learn.
Because I am klutzy in the kitchen.
Yes, you are.
Yes, that's true.
What
Okay.
you- Come on.
I'll follow you.
All right.
Of course.
Now, this is...
Well, here we are at the kitchen.
This is a kitchen. Now, Johnny, we're going to cook trout, and we're going to cook zucchini, and we're going to cook cucumbers, and we're going to make an aioli sauce, which is mayonnaise and garlic. And I want to ask you first, because this trout is beautiful and fresh. You see, you can always tell because of the color of the gill and everything. Smell,
So?
what smell?
That's a fish.
Yes, it is.
fish, but it smells fresh and
Isn't it?
been good.
It's beautiful.
Been cleaned.
Now, do you mind it with the head on and the tail on?
I never like to eat anything that's looking at me.
You don't? Well, then, would you mind
You can
cutting...
put it, blindfold him or something. You can leave the head on, but put a mask.
Put a little something on it, like... all
Cut
right.
the head off?
Shall we cut the head off?
Yes.
All right. Okay, there we go.
Are you done yet?
Yep. Now, we'll leave it in the pot, though, huh? You
What-
don't
what
mind
is
the
that?
tail, do you?
No, no.
As long as it doesn't wag at you.
But do you cook that?
Yes.
head
Now,
in?
what we do, you see, we cut lemon slices very nicely. And I'm going to give you
Nice
something very
thin lemon
nice
slices.
thin lemon slices. We stick them in the little belly in there. Yes, put them in the little belly.
Hide them in the trout
now,
there.
squeeze that over it.
Squeeze the rest of the lemon over the
yes,
trout.
Just not too much. There it
Now, the
is.
skin is on. You've just scaled
Skin is
it.
on.
and-
Yes, so it's been scaled, you know. It's a beautiful trout. Now you put a little parsley in there. That's, you know, rue. And then, let's see, now.
Is this boned?
Yes. No, it isn't boned. It'll
I
be
see.
boned after it's cooked.
Little olive
now
oil?
you do a little olive oil. That's just to sort of give it a little jazz. A little bit of salt and pepper here. Pepper. Salt.
Pepper.
A little bit of salt. This is marvelous when it does both. And a few scallions.
How does that do both?
Huh? One comes out one end, one comes out the other. It took me a half hour
didn't know
outside to
that. Yeah.
figure that out.
Now you put the
Now,
head
what
back.
we do, we sort of fold this up, you see, like this. Now, we pour in a little bit of white wine. Would you put just a tiny bit of white wine?
I want to
I'll
see if
hold
it's
this
fresh
up.
first.
Yes, please do. Is it all right?
Are you sure?
Yes, very good. Now, just a little on the fish, please.
How much? Just do it.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Now, come out. Now we...
I want a happy fish. Okay.
This is a happy fish, I'll tell you that.
Aluminum foil, right?
Aluminum foil. Aluminium foil, as they say in England. Now, nobody's ever been able to figure that out, have they? Now, wrap it up again, and wrap it up really neatly, Okay. Now, I'm going to trade with you, and I'm going to make the zucchini. Now, would you tear off a piece of aluminum foil, please? And the zucchini will be chopped up like this. Ooh, there it goes.
AT&T is down.
Okay, there we go. I'll put that right there. Thank you. Now, we chop up the zucchini, and if
Salt and pepper?
Yes, a little salt and pepper, please. A little bit of olive oil. You got to screw that
I see.
one. Yes. That's it. So sorry, I didn't really mean that.
Fresh zucchini.
Yes. Now, you see, now, you do that. Now, you put a little bit of dill on it. No, that's the wrong thing. There's the dill. A little bit of dill. Yeah. And again, a little bit of... That's enough. That's fine. Now, a little bit of olive oil, like
oil.
that.
And
Yeah, a little
some
salt
wine.
and pepper, please. Yeah, no, you want a little wine
Little
in it?
wine, of
Well,
course.
let's try the wine.
Maybe it's gone bad.
You sure it's all right?
Yeah, it's still fresh. You do have to let it breathe a little bit, don't
Yes,
you?
you do. That's enough. Don't waste it.
Normally, you wouldn't do that.
All right, now that goes in like that, you see? Now we wrap that all up like that, and we have that. Now, the aioli sauce, which is really garlic, mayonnaise, and sour cream, and a little bit of stuff. I want you to gook all that garlic
That's
in
garlic,
there.
isn't it? Put it all
No.
No.
Squeeze it.
What?
Squeeze.
Oh, excuse me. Squeeze it.
Squeeze it. Oh,
Put it in the garlic press.
Yes, put it in the garlic press.
One at a time, or?
Yep. Yes, you have to do that. Attaboy. Into the soup.
Now we just...
A little more muscle could be used.
Oh, I see. All right.
That's it. That's great. Now, a little bit more.
So you put a few of
There
those
it
in
is,
there.
yes.
Right.
Now, there we go. Now, we make that all. And that just has to go. And that's actually
Do we have to do a commercial here?
for garlic.
While we're doing the commercial, we'll check the wine, and then we'll come right back. Right. Now here's the Sunbeam Shaver and Groomer, the shaver that gives you more than a shave. We're back. How are we doing on time, Fred? Okay.
All right. Okay, now I've cut up the cucumbers while we were selling something there.
Right.
And now what you do with these are just cucumbers, and you just put a little bit of French dressing on them, just a little
Right.
bit. Now wrap that up.
Wrap those up.
Wrap that up. Okay, and here are some pears, halves of fresh pears. put a little red wine on them.
Little red wine
You want
this
to try
time.
it and see if it's fresh?
That's fine.
It's fine. Then you put a little bit of sugar and cinnamon, which you can buy already mixed. Put that on it. Now, that should be wrapped up, too.
Everything goes in foil.
Yes, everything goes in foil. And there we have our basic dinner. Now,
I understand there's a kicker on this whole thing.
there is. Now you take it down to Chasen's, and you have them cook it for you.
Now, you put this in the oven? You don't
No.
put it in the oven.
No, you don't.
Now,
And
listen.
I'll tell you what you do put it in. Here it is. The dishwasher.
Actually?
Truly, absolutely true. Now, I give you my word that an hour before the show started...
It's true.
We cooked exactly that meal in this dishwasher on the full cycle, mind you. Now, on the full cycle.
The water and,
Everything. Yeah, no rinse.
no rinse.
No, and no soap.
But the drying and
But
all of things?
everything, the whole bit. Now, here it all is. There are our dishes.
They're hot.
Now, they're hot, and we hope they're done. And I'm sure they are done because we've tried it, and it was successful. And we'll take a look first at the
Why do
fish.
you use a dishwasher? Just to,
Because it steams and it heats, and fish is one of the few things you couldn't do, meat or anything
Oh, I
like
see.
that in it.
So
But
the-
fish cooks in only a very short time, and it really is kind of beautiful. Look at how beautiful that is.
now look at that.
Huh?
That has been done.
Yes.
It's all hot.
Is it?
How now? Yeah, now you leave that in the
Yes,
whole
you leave
cycle.
that. Now, if you go over there, I'm going to bring you a little sample.
All right.
Want to take the wine with you, Johnny?
No, I think I've had enough.
Why don't you drink it here?
Getting up.
Huh? Now, let's see. First, we'll bone a little. Oh, look, isn't that beautiful? Look at that.
Oh.
Look at that flesh, come on.
So
Isn't-
you bone that well. That's the thing that I don't know how to
Well,
do.
that's just something you have to learn how to do. I've been married so many times, I've learned how to bone anything.
I should be good at this then also.
I was thinking you should be just
Now
about the
that's-
same amount of good at it as I am. Now, you put that aioli sauce on
Yes,
there.
yes.
Now, take that over, and I'll bring over, let them try, huh?
All righty.
And I'll bring over something in a minute.
You want a little fork here? This is trout. There's lemon in it, dill. Been cooked in a dishwasher.
No rinse. Oh, my Lord. Ah!
I'm going to try a little bit of this. That trout.
That is the greatest fish I have ever tasted in my whole life.
See, it's moist. It doesn't bake it
You
out.
know what the secret is? No rinse.
You're absolutely right. Isn't it delicious?
Oh, my Lord,
Huh?
it's marvelous.
It really is. Did
And
you
it's-
have some?
I have not tried it.
And another thing, it's rinse clean. There are no water spots on it.
But
That
it is great, isn't it?
fine.
Huh?
Oh,
Try the
divine.
aioli sauce, because that's one of the great dishes.
That's
of the world.
absolutely...
Hey, Merle.
Oh, my Lord, it's absolutely great.
And this, of course, is the zucchini, I hope. It may not be. Oh, dear. Well, there it
Do
is.
you always eat off the floor like this?
That's if I can't find any roux around.
That's pears.
Those are the
That's
pears.
the pears. You see, they're stewed in red wine, and it just pinks them up, and they're really delicious.
So it keeps all the moisture in because
Keeps
everything
all
is
the
in foil.
moisture in it.
So really what happens, you've steamed it and then with
That's
a hot water.
That's right.
So great.
Yeah.
Lord,
That's incredible.
It's wonderful, and then you just put the dishes back into the thing and wash the dishes. You see, and the whole thing is a beautiful cycle.
That's incredible.
It
and
is.
it's gorgeous. I wish you could all taste this. But that's the way it goes. Beautiful. Thank you, Vincent.
You're welcome.
We'll come right back. Here.
Thank you.
Thank you for dinner.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was great.
That is really great. I hope you come out the house sometime. Do you do windows?
Yes. You just leave 15% on the table. everything
That's really
else.
unusual and beautiful.
Isn't it really? It's
Yeah.
kind of a marvelous idea. It's kind of kooky and it sounds
Fascinating.
funny, but it works.
Yeah.
It really does work.
Thanks for being here tonight. I hope
My
to see you again
pleasure.
soon. And
Thank
Edie,
you.
of course, with Steve, will have their special, Gershom special.
Not Christmas.
Not
Thursday
Christmas.
night, Thanksgiving.
Thursday night on Thanksgiving
It'll
Day.
be a cold day. No.
And
Please watch.
Monday night, McLean will be here with John Davidson, Alice Cooper, Henny Youngman. Take my wife, please. Dr. Joyce Brothers and basketball superstar Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will be with him. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Good night.
Stay tuned for the Midnight Special next on NBC.